Hey, welcome. You know the drill. Grab a drink and let's have a chat. I am Tammy Leslie, certified life coach, excuse me, and this is Inch by Inch, where we discuss rebuilding after life's toughest seasons and how to break it down into manageable steps. So if you tuned in for the last video, you know that we played with the emotions we want to feel in our lives and random 1% tasks that might help us change the feelings we're feeling now into the feelings we want to feel for the future. Question: did y'all practice any of those tasks that you thought of? If so, were you able to create those North Star emotions even just a little bit? And if you did, how did that feel? So, this week, we're going to take it just 1% further. Let's talk about how these two concepts can be implemented in our lives. Then, let's practice by identifying one area in our lives that we can start making small improvements with. So, the first concept is the North Star emotions. And these are the emotions we want to be able to feel in our lives, different from the ones that we currently feel. These emotions are important because they define our happiness. If you would like an exercise to help you identify your North Star emotions, I've put a link in my previous video in the description. So, by choosing our North Star emotions to create the feelings we want in our lives versus what we already have, we're giving ourselves permission to start taking control again. We are no longer trapped in the current endless loop that's keeping us down. Gives us just a tiny ray of hope. Something new is possible, and that tiny bit of control can bring us some peace, which we so desperately need. Now, what about the 1% better tasks? And why only 1%? To start out, it's best to keep it simple. We are in a space of chaos. Our brain is on overload and everything just seems hard. To make progress, we want to create a safe space for ourselves where we get to choose the outcome and know that we will be successful. Then we pick a task, anything that's just 1% that we'd like to focus on, and it should be something that we can do in less than 2 minutes. And if that means just making our beds every day, then we're making progress on taking control of our lives again. There are many benefits to this simple approach. We get a sense of achievement. You see, our brains register that small achievement the same way that it registers something really big. We're taking control of the chaos once again, and this raises our self confidence. It reduces overwhelm, it lifts our spirits, and at the end of the day, all of this will just make us want to do it again. It felt so good, I'm going to do it again. The task itself seems insignificant, but the result over time will astound you when you look back to see your progress. It will encourage you to take bigger and bigger steps as you are ready. And before long, you're going to be living the life of your dreams. How does that sound? An example of this in my own life is the $2 you saw me put in a savings challenge in the last video for my trip to Ireland. Yeah, I know. Saving just a couple of dollars at a time is going to take a really long time to save for that trip. But there's something bigger happening here. You see, since I left my job, I've been living off my savings. So a dollar here and a dollar there saved from the cash in my wallet lets me know I'm still working toward my dream, and I feel my North Star emotion of accomplishment for having chosen to save that money instead of spending it on something like a coffee. It gives me hope that my dream is still alive and that I will see it come to pass. Something else that it does for me is I get to be in control. Nobody but me. Because when I look in my wallet, I get to choose how I spend the money. I can certainly have the coffee, but then again, I could make coffee at home and save the money for my trip. There's no wrong answer. But the point is, the choice is mine to make. And even that little bit of money gives me a quick burst of satisfaction. And I'm motivated to do it again next week and maybe find ways to save just a little more. And here's the cool part. If I save that tiny $2 every week for the next year, I will have put away $104 towards my trip. I could have spent that on 25 coffees, which means I really wouldn't have had anything to show for that money. So let's dig in. Here's what I'm choosing to do to test my theory on the 1% improvements, the 1% better tasks. If you're welcome to join me, but remember, we are trying to create at least one of our North Star emotions by completing one 2-minute task consistently for 1 week. Does that sound hard? Nah, you can do it. We can do it, right? All right. So the first step is to identify the area of improvement you want to work on. It can be any area you want. It can be your life vision that you've already created. It could be something that annoys you, maybe a new habit you want to initiate, or even developing a skill in a hobby that you already love will work. As I said, this one area is just for practice. We are just experimenting with something new, and we can make adjustments anytime, okay? And here's the thing, it's easier on our brains to change small things than it is to create a whole new system. Once you've identified the area you want to improve, you're going to write down as many of those 1% better tasks that you can think of in that particular area. Have fun with this. This is not a chore. Breathing a new life should be fun, not hard. Okay? So let your imagination soar. There is no answer that is impractical, stupid, or unrealistic because you never know what might come from these ideas. All right. And once you've got that list done, I'd like you to choose just one of those tasks for this experiment. Okay? Now remember, we want it to be stupid easy. We are setting ourselves up to win here. Okay? You can do more on the task if you want. That's just extra credit. But for the experiment, one small 2-minute task. Okay? So for myself, I think I'm going to choose cleaning the kitchen. You know, this is a chore that annoys me. I hate doing dishes. So I let the dishes pile up all day, and then I've got this stack of dishes to do at the end of my day. And that just annoys me even more. So, yeah, I'm going to make that better. By choosing to work in my kitchen, I believe that the North Star emotions I can generate will be accomplished and organized. The tasks that might help me in my experiment are I can use paper plates, I can hire a maid, I could eat out every night, I could practice don't put it down, put it in the dishwasher. I could wash my coffee pot and cup when I finish my morning coffee. Or I could empty the dishwasher and drainer as I make my morning coffee each day. If you were me, which one would you choose? There's no wrong answer, and you might even have a better idea. Yes, delegating the chores to your kids counts as an option. I think I'm going to choose practice, don't put it down, put it in the dishwasher. That way, it's probably a 30-second task for me to rinse a dish and put it in the dishwasher. Lastly, we're going to track this one new habit. And guys, we're not creating spreadsheets or anything like that. We're keeping this as simple as possible. So grab a sticky note and put it someplace easy for you to see. You can put it on the fridge, you can put it on your planner, but all you have to do is track the number of days you do the task and note how you felt when you did it. If you don't do the task at all during the week, that's important data too. So you didn't fail. You've just created a data point. Okay. This way, we can evaluate all the data at the end of the week and we can choose to adjust or make changes. All right, guys, I am going to let you start your task and I'm going to go start mine. So we will meet back here at the next video, compare notes. And if you found value in this video, please give us a like. And if you want to play along, you are more than welcome to post your 1% better tasks in the comments. And before we go, just remember, Jesus loves you and wants to see you healed. I hope you all have a great day. Bye-bye.